anyone who follows the economy at all and has a basic understanding of it knows that there is something called shelter inflation. You look at rent prices. I mean, when do you, if you're out there renting, when do you renew your lease? Every 1 year, every 2 years, every 3 years. Those numbers lag behind. You look at when you buy a car. When do you do for that? Every 3 or 5 years? You're doing financing. You're looking at buying a car.
Not me. Not me. I'm trying to build wealth through real estate. I'm buying a used junker, a beater upper. I'm trying to save my money. If I'm trying to buy a car every 3 to 5 years, can you do these numbers for me? Do $800. I think it's $750 is the average car payment here in America right now. Do 750 times 30 years, 360. So we'll say that, just play that out. How much money is that? And that's if the car prices don't go up. How much money is that?
$270,000.
So you just spent $270,000 on your car over your lifetime because you wanted to carry a car payment. Why? To look cool? Oh, well, my car keeps breaking down. Well, what's more expensive? Paying $1,000 one time a year for, say, repairs, or paying $750 a month? That was logic since I was a kid that never made sense to me. And in my community, a lot of people, they would always have, their cars were nicer than their houses.
Yeah.
And I said, there's something wrong here. Like, listen, dude, I get it. You got those deuces, those 22s, and those rims cost you $4,000. But you're living in Section 8 housing.
Right.
Like, take that $4,000, put it as down payment on the property, and you could have purchased the property. Or, I'm glad you said that house thing because I know this is a little bit, or the car thing because it's a little bit, every 3 to 5 years, people do that. That's what they're doing.
Majority of people do that. I mean, it really does, in fact, impact the inflation numbers because most people do that. But I mean, you make a good point. Like, why?
Why? Oh, I don't have enough money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Well, maybe get rid of the car that's costing you $750 a month. Downgrade. Get a car that you can either pay cash for or pay it off quickly. And then that excess money, $750, that's now in your bank account.
Right.
That's now in your bank account. If you want to buy a house, primary residence, which we say buy a primary residence, definitely buy a primary residence, buy it first. Go ahead, put that $750 aside. What's $750 times 24 months? Give me that number. Because I bet you after 24 months, you'll have enough money to do a 3 to a 3.5% down payment if you're a first-time home buyer, or have enough to cover your closing costs and do a down payment assistance program and actually own the house and build equity in that primary residence.
$18,000.
$18,000 is more than enough.
Oh, yeah.
It's more than enough to buy a house. Listen, and then I'll get comments on TikTok about how I don't know what I'm talking about and this, that, and the other thing. Someone actually mentioned something on TikTok, and you brought up, we know what the excess savings is in America, correct?
Correct.
Somebody on TikTok said, and I responded to this comment, how scary is it that the United States government and these census companies and these data tracking companies can know how much money we have as an American people? Why?
Oh, well, that's not even the government. That's Chase.
Right. Why
it's the big businesses that have all that information.
Why are they giving this information, though, out? Like, how scary is that they know? I don't want people knowing my personal information. I don't want them knowing how much money is in my bank account. I mean, do you?
No. I mean,
Donovan, do you want them to know? No. No one that's personal information. Why are you giving that out? Now, I do believe we have to have a conversation about financial literacy and so on and so forth, and talk about money and talk about what different careers make and how you can save money and how you can put money towards real estate. And, $18,000 after 24 months, if you get rid of your car, that's definitely enough for a down payment on an investment property if you already have a primary residence, is it not?
Yes, it is.
So, I mean, hey, but I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. We don't make enough money in America. We don't do this. No, we have a spending problem in America. The government has a spending problem. 3 out of 5 Americans don't have a budget. That's a problem. I've even had a spending problem at times and in the past. The thing is you have to grow up and be an adult. Like, so if you really want to do something and have financial literacy or financial success, like, you have to, one, be an adult. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is it's children who are going through stores. I want that squirt gun. I want that toy. I want this, right? That's a childish act. That's something that before we learn discipline, that's something we do. Discipline is freedom, folks. And part of discipline is a budget, a financial plan, having a goal, developing a budget, which is going to be your pathway to achieve that goal, and following it no matter what. Oh, your friends are going out to the bar on Friday night. You spend $100 at the bar on Friday night with your buddies when you're in your 20s. I mean, there's a lot of people who did that. A lot of people would go out. They would spend $100 on drinks and appetizers, food, dinner, whatever it was. $100 on a Friday night. We did it.
Yeah.
Right? $100 a week. That's $400 a month. Can you do what $400 a month times 24 months is? That's $9,000, right? Just around $8,500. You would have $8,500 in your savings account. $9,600. So almost $10,000. You do that for 4 years. That doubles. You take that money, you put it into your 401k instead of putting it into.
I was about to say, yeah,
like that.
You do something with that money. You put it into real estate. Put it into, I mean, anything.
You want to know what the problem with this conversation is, and why a lot of people give us a lot of pushback, especially on TikTok?
Why?
Because it makes them feel self-conscious.
Because everyone knows they can do it.
Well, and they know. So when you speak the truth to people, and they hear the truth, and they know that it's something that they're doing that they shouldn't be doing, because everybody knows it, they get defensive. That's the first step. It's like an alcoholic. The first thing they do is they get defensive when you call them out about being an alcoholic, or you have that, what's it called, an intervention with them. But then, if you look at 12 steps, what's the first thing you have to do in the 12-step program? You have to admit there's a problem. We as a country need to admit that there is a spending problem. We as an individual have to admit that we have a spending problem. We as an individual have to admit, hey, I know I can learn a skill and make more money if I'm not making enough.
Yep.
But I just don't want to do it. But nobody wants to do it. There's a price for success. The price is hard work. Whatever your definition of success is, hard work. You don't get it without hard work. Pay the price and you will have success. I promise you. And the great thing about this country still is we all have unlimited opportunity to do that. So, all right, Ben, let's get back on topic. I'm sorry. You mentioned that car payment thing, and then all these freaking TikTok messages started. It's like when people are about to die, you see your life flash before your eyes, they say. Right. I saw, when you mentioned the car payment, I saw TikTok flash before my eyes.
No, but I mean, what you said is perfect sense. That is what people need to look at doing, because it can make a massive difference in your finances. Because the thing about that too, and I just want to add to what you were saying, like things move exponentially. Like you have to have money to make money. Like there's a reason people say that, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start. And the way you can do that is by making a budget, looking at your expenses. I guarantee every single person has at least some room that they can make gains. Have the discipline to do that and do it consistently over a period of time. And then, I mean, for example, you talked about $400 a month. After 2 years, that's $9,600. At that point, you're able to do something. You're able to make that $9,600 into something else.
Primary residence.
Right. You can buy a home with it.
Residence.
Right. And then all of a sudden you turn that $9,600, you get like a qualified work with a mortgage professional. Find like a down payment assistance program, or
There's
I mean, you don't even need
get
to
seller credit, like whatever you
right.
need to
There's
do.
3% down first time home buyer programs. All of a sudden, then you have then you can turn that into a $250,000, $300,000 property that starts appreciating over time.
Right. And in York County, on a $300,000 or $350,000 property, you're gaining almost $150,000 in equity over a 3-year period. Core logic numbers, folks. You can't argue those.
No, and it's all through just discipline, having a budget, and just knowing where your money is going. Like,
and I can tell you this: if you want to talk about discipline, having a budget, and making sure spending doesn't go where it doesn't need to go, do not have a lawyer run your finances for you. No. Like the Fed chair has Jerome Powell, a lawyer running America's finances for us. It's a big problem.
Right.
Talk to a professional who actually understands finances and financials and that type of thing.